I'm in a van at a secret location somewhere in Europe, just around the corner from a casino. And in a little under an hour, I'm going to bet £5,000 on a single number on a roulette wheel. And there's a twist. The £5,000 isn't mine, it belongs to one of you watching the show right now, and you don't know that I've taken £5,000 of your money. I'll call you in a moment to tell you that it's yours. Welcome to the show. This show fuses magic, suggestion, psychology, misdirection, and showmanship. Remember, I'll be calling one of you soon to let you know that I have £5,000 of your money. Now, the roulette wheel is the holy grail for anyone looking into ways to scam a casino. With a payout of 35 to 1 on a single number, my bet of £5,000 could win one of you £175,000 if I choose the right number. And spending a year finding a way to beat the wheel began with a tiny seed, the thrill of taking a gamble. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, some mints for this guy, please. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you. Thank you. Bless you. Thank you very much indeed. Hello, what's your name?
Hello, Josie.
Josie, come and stand up here for me. Come and stand here. Lovely. Excellent. Good. Josie, we haven't spoken before. We haven't prearranged anything? No?
Nope.
Okay, bless you. We're going to play a game, very simple game, using 4 cans of spray paint. I've got a blue one there with the blue lid, green with the green lid, black with the black lid, red with the red lid. 3 of those cans don't work. They don't spray, all right? One of them does work, and it's full of paint. I'm going to play a game where you're going to try and spray 3 of the cans, just 3 of them. You're going to try and avoid the one with paint in. Does that make sense? Lovely. The first choice is 1 in 4, isn't it? So the chances are unlikely that you'd actually get the one with the paint in. So you're going to pick one up and spray it into my face. So anyone you like?
Face.
Yeah. Pick up the first one you're going to spray. You can take the lid off. I'll take the lid for you if you like. Yeah, first choice is blue. Thank you. And if you can just hold it. Don't spray it yet. Just hold it in front of me like that. Now, all I would say is, try and just spray so it's just the face, okay? If you get the close, I'll be livid. So just the face. It's unusual to be standing for this, excuse me. Go on. Go. Is it spraying? No, but bless you for your enthusiasm there. No, thank you. I hoped you'd pick the blue one first. The blue does not spray. Okay, you now have a 1 in 3 chance, and for the second one, you're going to spray in the face of somebody here in this audience. So you've chosen blue. What are you going to go for next?
Green.
You're going to go for green? Okay, up to you. So if you take that from me, I'll take the lid. So we've had lovely blue, then green. So here's how we do this. Hold it out at arm's length. You need to choose somebody, so don't spray anything yet. Nice and slowly. Work your way around with it at arm's length. Stop in front of anybody that you'd like to spray. Nice and slowly. Is that the gentleman there?
Yes.
In the front row or the chap just behind?
Behind.
You, sir. Excellent. What's your name?
Alfredo.
Alfredo, of course it is. Just stand just there for me. Don't spray until I tell you, but if you can come up nice and close, I'd get a little bit closer. Lovely. I'd just give it a bit of a shake. Yeah, I'll keep your eyes closed. Actually, okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
No.
Yes, safe, Alfredo. There's no paint in that one either. Thank you, Alfredo. Round of applause for Alfredo. You can go back. So we've had blue, then we've had green, and there's one more. You only need to spray one more. Of course, now it's 50-50, so the odds are no longer in your favour. What's the last one that you're going to spray, black or red?
It's red.
Red. Up to you. Sure? You're going to go for red. This one, of course, you're going to spray on your own face. If you can pick it up for me. Lovely, and I'll put that there. So we have blue, then green, then red. So if you just, don't spray it yet, but just point at you, so make sure you're genuinely pointing it at your face. Now, I'd come in a bit closer so you don't miss. And no cheating. I'd keep absolutely still for this. On the count of 3, I'd like you to give a really good, do you want to give it a, okay? Closer to you, just get it nice and close. So on the count of 3, a really good spray, and no moving out the way. You've got to do it properly. Ready? 1, 2. Also, just hold that thought for a second, because that feeling that you're feeling now, that feeling of gut-wrenching uncertainty, that's the reason for the whole of this stunt tonight. That feeling of taking a gamble. That's what this is about. 1, 2, 3. It was water, but you're all right, it wasn't paint. You were correct, there was no paint in it. Excellent. You didn't get any of the paint. Congratulations. Now, you got that right. You didn't get any of the paint. Sorry about the water in the last one, just a bit of a gag. But just so you know that there really was paint in the last one, the black one, the one you didn't choose. If you want to spray that one all over this card here, just give it a good spray. Just cover it in black paint. Mind how you go. Don't get on your clothes. People behind, watch out. Excellent. Keep going. Just cover it all there so the camera can see. That'd be great. All down here. On go. Keep going. Keep going. Good luck on my fingers. Okay. Excellent. Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. Josie, I'm going to let you back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Josie, everybody. Thank you. You're wet. Oh, Josie. Actually, Josie, just step back up for a second. Let me just show you something. Are you happy, first of all? You went the 3 that you did spray. So you left the black, which was great. But just remember, the 3 that you did spray, you sprayed the blue, then the green, then the red. Yes? Now, are you happy that I didn't influence you in those choices? That was your random choice of which 3 to spray. You happy about that? Mm-hmm. Happy I didn't influence you?
Not at all.
Okay. Look. So you left the black spray can, the only one with paint. Now this is a stencil, and the 3 colours you'll choose will be in this order: blue, green, and red. Blue, green, red. Another round of applause for Josie. You did such a great job. You're fantastic. Thank you so much. Josie, everybody. Thank you, Josie. Thank you. Now, thank you very much. Now, as always, this part of the show is pre-recorded, and that's because right now, as this show is going out, I'm in a secret location in Europe, near to a casino, with £5,000 of someone else's money. I want you to understand exactly how I stand any chance of predicting the outcome of a roulette wheel. So let's start by looking at the basics. People have been trying to win money from casinos in both legal and illegal ways for a very long time. So I've come to talk to Paul Wilson, who's a gambling expert from The Real Hustle on BBC 3. In the card game of blackjack, you can beat the dealer and win money if you get an ace and a picture card to make 21. There are techniques to better your chances in this game, like counting cards that are legal in some casinos, but Paul is going to show me some of the illegal techniques that people have used.
Let's imagine we have a hand here, an 8 and a 4. Now that's not the best hand in the world, but if somehow I'd stolen 2 cards from the casino last week...
So you've got a queen and your ace, which you brought into the casino from... yeah, you stole them last week. So before you do it, we have an 8 and a 4 there. Mm-hmm. So now you're going to turn over the 8 and a 4.
Yeah.
And in doing it...
Let's just do it like that. There you go.
That was a little fast, so let's see it one more time in slow motion. This time with the cards face up. Blackjack doesn't give you as much of an edge as some other games.
Yeah, each bet is only returning an even profit.
Yes.
But what if you were getting over 30 to 1 per bet?
And that, of course, is where the roulette wheel comes in, because the odds are much higher, the potential wins are much, much higher.
It's the holy grail. If you can beat the roulette wheel, then, you know.
So this is the roulette wheel.
Yep.
And there are different ways of betting, but what interests me in particular is betting on single numbers. So there are 36 numbers and a 0.
Yep.
And if you bet on a particular number and that number comes up, your odds are 35 to 1.
35 to 1.
35 to 1. So there's a lot of systems, and there are systems all over the internet.
You could get somebody trying to sell you on the internet that if you bet in a certain way or you follow a certain pattern of betting that you'll make more money. Of course, that doesn't work.
There is no betting system to beat roulette.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that the wheel can't be beaten, because if you use physics, there is something that you can predict about the wheel.
This has been something I've spent the last year of my life kind of obsessing over. How can you use physics as opposed to sort of probability in betting systems to beat the wheel?
Okay, we use concealed computers. I'd just be timing the ball, then actually feeding the information to the computer. We're telling the machine the speed and location of the ball and the speed and location of the zero on the wheel.
Yes.
The machine recognizes that and then begins to figure out what number will be underneath that ball when it drops down into the tub. And then how far will the ball travel before it lands in a slot. So it's complicated, and obviously with all of these electronics, it's very risky.
The casino nowadays, they can tell if you're wearing electronics.
Absolutely, yeah, they're onto it.
So the only surefire way of beating a roulette wheel is to do what a computer would do, which gives you the genuine physics, the only real route into predicting it, but to do that in your head and not use a machine.
You can't just memorize with a technique. You have to actually understand the relationship between these two objects and process it on another level. You just can't apply an equation to it. It's the Holy Grail for a reason.
But it's worth it because the odds are, well, the payout is potentially huge.
Never said it would be easy.
No. No. So that's the plan, to do what the computer can do, but to do it in my head, so there's no getting caught. And also, if you do use a hidden computer, it usually allows you to get a sense of an area of the wheel where the ball is most likely to fall. But I'm going to put all the money on one single number with odds of 35 to 1. So if I win, the payout is £175,000. But I shall be playing with money that belongs to one of you. Now, you met me and you gave me the money, and then I made you forget giving it to me. In fact, you won't even remember that you met me. So you should all make sure you have your phones on, as I'll be calling you live on the show to let you know who you are.
Hello, this is Derren. Hello, good evening. Hello, England. I'm talking to you live from somewhere in Europe. Now, to protect the identity of the casino, which is fairly close to where I am at the moment, and also to make sure that nobody can sabotage what I'm going to do, at the moment we cannot film for that reason. However, we will be able to soon, and shortly I will be calling one of you to let you know that I have £5,000 of your money, so please make sure you have your phones on you and to hand.
Thank you very much. So, I don't know if any of you gamble, but hands up if you think you're someone that's sort of lucky. Hands up if you think you're a lucky person. Oh, very good. Hello, you seem, that seems quite confident. What's your name?
Richard.
Richard, nice to meet you. Richard, loud voice, clear voice. Come and stand there for me, Richard. Great. Now, the way he stands up, also hands a little behind his back, very kind of open gesture. Somebody fairly confident, fairly outgoing. Lucky Richard. Excellent. And as Richard will know, people that are lucky call themselves lucky, people that just take more opportunities in life. You create your own luck. You do more things, you say yes to more things, nicer things happen to you. On the other hand, then, who would say they're probably quite an unlucky person? Anybody would consider themselves fairly unlucky? That sort of immediately the hand only comes halfway up, immediately more timid. What's your name? Maz, look at the way she walked, shoulders down, very different up you come here. None of the confidence we had with Richard. Sorry about that, but that's just simply how it is. You're what sort of sociologists would probably refer to as a Class C personality, which is what I suppose we think of as, I suppose a loser would be the word that we'd use. So, with that in mind, let me explain the game. Very simple game, 2 matchboxes. One matchbox contains £20, the other matchbox contains nothing. It's empty. I'm not going to touch them, it's a very simple game. I will give you 2 chances each to either stick or switch, all right? 2 chances each, to stick or switch, and you kind of leave them as they are, or switch them around and give them to the other person. However, at the end of this game, you're a lucky guy. You will create your own luck, you will win this game, you will end up with the £20. You, on the other hand, are going to end up with the empty box. You've gone through life losing, and that's not about to change tonight. I'll start with you, then you won't make the final choice. You can't be accused of knowing anything here that's going on that you shouldn't. We haven't spoken before. I haven't given you any clues as to which match. Actually, what I will do is just mark one of them, just for my own clarity. That's just so I can keep track of which is which. Don't let that influence you. That's just a little cross there on that one there. Good. Okay, Richard. You're going to stick or are you going to switch?
I'm going to stick.
He's going to stick. Look at that. Calm, confident, in control. Doesn't need to worry things aren't in the right place. He leaves them as they are. Excellent.
Yep.
All right. You can do the same. Are you going to stick or are you going to switch?
I'll stick.
You still, she has to copy, you see. She has to sort of copy. Can't think for herself. All right. Okay, she's sticking. So you're both stuck so far. You have another chance. Are you going to stick or are you going to switch?
I'll stick again.
Good, so you're still sticking.
Yep.
Good. So what are you going to do? You're going to stick as well, or are you going to switch?
I'm going to switch.
You're going to switch. Go on then. She switched them around on the last one. Okay, now I'm going to give you one more instruction, but before that, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to either leave them as they are, or, if you wish, one of you can switch them again. I don't mind. I'll give you 10 seconds from now. Oh, it's 10 seconds. Not tempted? Well, I said you would win this game. I said you'd create your own luck. I said you'd lose. I said it's one of life's tragedies. You would lose this game. Do you want to open yours first? Congratulations. No, congratulations. Open it up. Of course, you've won the £20 because you are one of a round of... That's empty. Oh, that hasn't worked. Would you open yours for me? I have to say that Baz has won the £20. Hold it just there for 1 second. Before you applaud, don't move a muscle. I did say there was one more instruction. There's actually something written on the note. Could you open it up? This is your final instruction. And can you read out what it says in there? If you just read it out nice and clearly, then we'll turn it so the camera can see. Right from the top? From the top, can you read that out?
Your final instruction, hand this to the other person.
Yes, which turns out to be the other person, turns out to be Richard, so hand that across. Congratulations, Richard. You're a lucky guy. Well done. Richard, ladies and gentlemen, I'll let you head back. And Baz, everybody, thank you very much. Now, as people at home are watching this, I'm actually in a secret location somewhere in mainland Europe, and later on you're going to see me put £5,000 on a single number on a roulette wheel and hopefully win £175,000. But listen carefully. The money I'll be betting with won't be mine. I stole it from one of you watching the show, and right now you don't know that I've got £5,000 of your money. Here's what I did. I met you, I made you give me the money, and then I made you forget that we'd met. So you'll be absolutely convinced at this point that it couldn't possibly be you. Now, I will call you in a few minutes, but before I do, let me show you the skills involved in cheating the roulette wheel. To start, we headed to a motorway and did this. I need to test my ability to estimate the speed of moving objects with great accuracy, so I enlisted the help of Mark Foster from the Sussex Police Force. Hi, Mark. Hi. Got your gun? Yep. I've also invited a special guest to witness this experiment, the world-famous jive-talking car fanatic, Timothy Westwood. Nice to meet you, Ben. Very nice to meet you. Thank you very much for coming up. This is Mark. How you doing? Hi. Nice to meet you, Mark. So, Mark, will you tell us exactly how this speed gun works?
This is a laser speed detection device. It fires out a laser at an object, returns to the laser gun. That then works out time and distance to give you a speed. And you use this in your job every day? Yeah. Yes. That's what you do. Okay, well, I'm sort of using a similar process, but without the laser. I'm kind of going to be triangulating, and I'm going from, there's a tall tree over there, that sign there with Chesham on it, and the cedar, and a couple of other things that I'm kind of doing as well to get this right. But I'm going to try and tell you exactly how fast any of these cars are going. Tim, your job's going to be to pick out a car, and you can choose any car you like, and I'll try and tell you exactly how fast these cars are going. So Tim, over to you. Just pick out a car, describe it, so we know which one you're talking about, and I'll give it a go.
All right, there's a car coming. It's by the lorry. It's in the fast lane.
This one here with the...
Here it
just
comes.
crossing over. Just crossing over. Got it, okay. It slowed down a bit there. It was doing 50 miles an hour.
It definitely slowed down once it saw the police.
So I think by the time you're taking the readings, it would have been on 50.
Can we have a look at the laser? How does he do that? Show the camera. Unbelievable. I thought I was going like 30.
Bang on, bang on.
You're out of a job.
Yeah, I think I am.
I want to try this a different way. Just doing it by sound.
Okay.
All right? So this time, I'm not going to look. I'll have my eyes closed. What I'm going to be doing is separating the sounds of all the cars in my head into different cars. As soon as you can tell the make of the car, say what the make is, and then I'll tell you how fast that car was going.
Okay.
I'll do it with my eyes closed. You'll have your fingers on my eyes.
Okay.
Also, if you can, try and clock the registration as well. because sometimes I can get a sense of how old the car is too.
Okay.
Okay, so just as before, call out a car, make sure Mark knows which one you're talking about, and then when it gets down here, someone you can tell what the make of the car is, then tell me, and I'll tell you how fast that car was going. All right.
There's a car coming on the outside lane, the fast lane. A Ford.
A Ford, okay. Is it gone?
It's gone.
Car's gone, all right. The Ford slowed down, it was 52, 52, went down 50, it was doing that, 52, 51, 50, 49. So probably 49 is probably on your last reading.
49! Unbelievable.
If I'm to beat the casino, then these are the skills that I'll use. And instead of a car on a motorway, I'll be judging the speed of a bull on a spinning roulette wheel. And I would say 93, 94, that Ford, I would say. It's quite an old Ford. About 93, 94. Did you catch what was the
It was
letter?
an L prefix. That would be, 93.
93, 94,
93,
Ford, yeah.
So it was quite an excellent.
Excellent. Thank you. So, let's pause there. Let's pause there. Just to remind you, live now I'm somewhere in Europe, and live now you're all sitting at home watching this. I should be just about to place the call to the person whose £5,000 I've stolen. And by now I will have left the van and I should be walking towards the casino. Now, as we can't identify exactly where I am, you will just hear the call. But right now, I'll be dialing one of you who is watching the show, hopefully at the moment, whoever it is, whoever's £5,000 I stole. We have a camera crew around the corner from your house right now, and the next thing all of you at home will hear is that phone call being made, and we will go live to the outside of that person's house. It could be you.
Okay, rather brilliantly, it seems like he's either engaged or we haven't got through, so we're going to go through to his landline number. It's ringing.
Hello?
Hello, is that Ben?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Ben, this is Derren Brown. Are you watching the show?
Yeah, I am watching the show, yeah.
Excellent. Ben, can you go and turn your TV down
turn
for
it-
me,
turn it
first
right
of all,
down,
and
though.
then come back to the phone?
I've got my housemate to do it, actually.
You've done that?
Yeah.
Hi, Ben. Hello, are you surprised?
Yes, I'm very surprised. I think maybe you've got the wrong person, though, but I'd still like to go ahead.
Well, I don't think I have. Well, first of all, I'm pleased you're watching the show, and you're actually watching the show because I told you to, although you won't remember that I did that. Are you enjoying it so far?
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's really good. I'm just in shock a bit at the moment.
I understand. Because as far as you're concerned, you haven't met me any time recently in the last couple of weeks, and you certainly haven't given me any money.
Well, no, we haven't. Not
Excellent.
so far.
Well, have you got your shoes on?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, good. Why don't, if you look out your window, if you look out of your lounge window, you should see a cameraman somewhere. In fact, can you see your house on the screen?
Yeah, just about make him out, yeah.
Can you see your house on the screen?
Yeah, I can, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Right, so you've got your shoes on. You need to make your way down to your front door, all right? We've got a camera crew waiting for you outside.
Okay, well,
so you'll have
there.
to leave the phone there, and I will talk to you when you're down there. We'll put an earpiece on you.
Okay, all right, speak to you in a second.
Quick as you can, please. So hopefully now Ben is making his way out of his apartment, and he's got a little walk out of his front door across a little courtyard. Now I think we're just putting his earpiece in. Can you hear me now, Ben? Can you hear me, Ben?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me? Don't you hear me?
Go to your front door, Ben. If you're not, I hope you can hear me, Ben. You probably can't.
I can hear you. I can hear you very
You can
well.
hear me now. Excellent. So you're at the front door. Good. Now you need to go left. You need to go with the camera crew There should be an alleyway that goes around the side of your block.
Okay.
All right. Now, tell me when you can see the blue tarpaulin.
I don't know. It's difficult to make anything out in the dark, to be quite honest.
It's a bit dark. There should be a tarpaulin there. Keep walking straight down. You're nearly there. There's been a lot of builders around today. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah, I have noticed. Those damn builders,
Yeah.
I tell you. They love making
Well,
noise.
they're not really builders, Ben. Can you see the tarpaulin?
Yes, I can see the tarpaulin, yeah.
Excellent. Now, good. So you need to go through the tarpaulin. Lift it up and go through.
Okay.
What can you see, Ben?
I can see a big truck.
Excellent. So look, there are a couple of trucks. You want to go to the second truck, Ben.
Okay.
Are you at the second truck?
Not yeah. Oh, yeah, well, here we are.
Okay, so the back of the truck is open. Yeah, that's right. I can't see you, although I can hear you. So go to the back of the truck where it is open. There you go. So, are you there, Ben? Are you there?
I am, yeah. It looks pretty exciting
Fantastic.
in here.
All right, lovely. If you speak up a little bit, I can hear you a little bit more clearly.
Yeah,
If you go
looks-
inside. Now, inside, if you sit yourself down, there should be a couple of monitors there. Are you sat down, Ben?
I am, yeah. I can see. There's a couple of monitors there.
There are, indeed. Now, I'll explain what they are later. You don't need to worry about them for now, but just get yourself comfortable. How are you feeling at the moment?
Shocked, very shocked, and yeah.
Still thinking I've got the wrong guy?
Well, you know, I think maybe you have, but anyway, I'm happy to, you know, I've got a credit card on me.
Don't worry, Ben. You just stay there. Now, you can watch the show from in there, all right? And after the break, I'll show you how I got your money. Hi, Ben.
Hi there.
Hi, Ben. You comfy?
Yeah, it's quite nice in here.
Excellent. No, they are nice up there, this truck. So, listen, I'm so excited. I've got £5,000 of yours, and you don't remember giving them to me, this to me, do you? Last Monday? You don't remember giving it to me last Monday?
No, I don't think I've given you any money. Maybe
Well,
you got confused.
I'm going to play you a clip now that is probably going to freak you out a little bit, Ben.
Okay.
So watch the monitors in front of you, and for everybody at home, and for you as well, Ben, this is what happened on Monday. This is how I stole your money. Ben, you won't remember any of this.
I had to get to know Ben's routine. So for a few weeks, we followed him. I'm going to bump into Ben and exploit his confusion and surprise to carry out a snap induction, a rapid and smooth way of putting someone in a trance. It's very quick and shouldn't attract attention. Ben.
Hi.
Hello. You volunteered to take part in the show, didn't you? Look at me, look at here, just look there. You can let your eyes close a little, they can still stay open as well, but the point is that you can let them grow nice and heavy. Then you go for a little walk with me now. And with initial control established, I led him to a quiet spot to input my instructions. And you can remain in that half sleep, and I'll show you. See, look, there's a man there filming. There's a man over there who's filming. And up on the roof as well. You can let your eyes close and just let yourself sink down into a nice, relaxed sleep. That's good. That's good. I'd like you to go to your bank, which is just around the corner. And you're going to take out £5,000. And I want you to feel amazing as you do that. I want you to enjoy a feeling of excitement. I want you to enjoy doing this, enjoy getting the money, enjoy that buzz of sort of taking a little of a risk, I guess, with the unknown. The feeling of it feeling covert, the enjoyment of that feeling. Right, well, you better wake up so that you can go and get it. Having given him my instructions, it was time to set Ben off to make the £5,000 withdrawal at his bank. You're going to head over that way. See you in a few minutes. Off you go. We knew the bank was round the corner, so a few moments later, Ben turned up. Ben was still following my instructions as he left the bank and headed back to our meeting place. seat. Thanks. I'd got what I needed, the £5,000. Now I had to erase all memory of our meeting. And all the things that have happened in those last few minutes just simply won't happen. It'll just be like a little glitch in time, almost like daydreaming. Or when you have a dream, and you can have a dream that's really exciting and involved and all sorts of things happen, and then when you wake up, you simply can't remember it. And that's how this will be. Now, we're going to go for a little walk, so I want you to remain in the sleep, but at the same time you can stand. And it was time to take my leave of Ben, to be out of sight and out of mind. Just drifting down nice and sleepily. I'm going to walk off now and give you 10 seconds, and after that you can open your eyes and continue to walk from now.
Hi, Ben.
Hi.
Does that ring any bells? Now
That
you see
was
it?
weird. That was very unusual.
Do you believe me now?
I think that you have got. Yeah, I do believe you now.
Do you remember going out?
Well, I can remember going out on Monday and going to the shop and getting a few things and stuff, but yeah.
You don't remember that? You don't remember that bit happening?
I don't remember that bit happening.
No, well, little bits might start coming back to you now. It's a little bit like when you have a dream and then you start to kind of, maybe after a while, start to remember little bits of it. But, yeah, but, you know, by all means, you know, do check your statement. That was Monday. You withdrew $5,000 in cash. So this is your money. It is your money that I have, and I'm about to go in and put it on a single number. I can't wait. I'm going to go in very shortly. It's a cold and very exciting evening here. But before that, keep watching. I'm going to show you a bit more about the skills that I'll be using.
So, all being well, when this show goes out, I should have just got hold of our unwitting and probably very confused participant, and I'm now getting ready to walk into the casino and put a large amount of his money on a single number. But first, let's look at another skill that I needed to work on. To beat a roulette wheel, I don't just need to know about speed, this is also about trajectory. We're in Manchester at a unique location which is the only freestanding glass squash court in the UK. In this test I'm going to try to judge the trajectory of a moving ball. I'm also only going to give myself a split second to make my prediction. My helper for this challenge is the lovely Carly. Hi Carly.
How are you?
Very good. I'm going to give you a little practice. I need to just watch you sort of throwing a ball a few times to get a sense of how you do this. And then we're going to go up there, and you're going to throw this ball as hard as you can into this court, and I will try and tell you as it leaves your hand which one of these squares that it will end up in. That's what this is about. Got it? There are so many variables in this challenge. The speed at which Carly throws the ball, the angle she throws it, the weight of the ball, and the bounciness of the ball. I need to understand all of these variables if I'm going to be able to predict the way a ball on a roulette wheel behaves. So, now I'm going to try and do something that seems impossible and predict the outcome of a single throw. Okay, let's go and do it then. You ready?
Okay.
All right, let's do it. After you. Lovely.
Okay.
Ball.
Thank you.
And this is a chart that I've got of all the numbers 1 to 100 in the same order. The way this will work is that you'll throw the ball, and as it leaves your hand, I'm going to make a dab with this bingo dabber on this chart.
Okay.
So you should hear me say the number it's going to land on probably about a second after it's left your hand, if that makes sense. Okay. Let me count you down, though. I'll give you 3, 2, 1, and then throw. Right. 3, 2, 1, throw. 37. Come on, 37. Come on, come on, come on. Come on.
No.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Absolutely amazing, and that is exactly where it was.
Let's see.
I sort of had it on the 36-37 border, but that was, I'd said 37 because it was more than, but well done.
How did you do that?
So it seems to work and should apply equally well to predicting the fall of a roulette wheel ball. but it was so quick I want to show you this again in slow motion. Here you can see the ball leave Carly's hand, and here, half a second later, I make my mark on the number 37 on the card. The ball now careers off the corner of the court on its 6th bounce and heads off to the left. The ball still has sufficient energy to take it across the court, and it returns past my chosen square to hit the right-hand wall on bounce 14. This puts vital spin on the ball, directing it left on the next bounce until, with its energy dissipated, it bounces over one last boundary and ends up in the predicted square.
I can't believe he did it. I was not expecting it to go in the actual number, and amazingly it did. I can't believe it. I'm in shock, absolute shock. Can I keep the ball? Ball. 37.
Okay, Ben, I'm heading in.
Great.
Are you still there? Great.
Slightly worried, but...
Good. Don't be worried. I'm very jittery. I will turn my camera on once we get inside and past the guard. I can't film at the moment because it's important nobody knows where we are, if that makes sense. So we can't reveal which casino this is. Also means, of course, we can't film outside. That's why we're not filming at the moment. Otherwise, you'll find out where the location is. And then equally, when we're inside, we won't be able to identify any of the people, or again, which casino it is. So I'm going to be trying to film it in such a way you don't see any of the people or exactly where we are. Now, I've been watching a particular wheel for several hours today, and I want to watch it a little longer before I actually play. And just for clarity, the odds of me getting this right are 37 to 1, but the payout is 35 to 1. So you will win, if I get it right, 175,000, plus, of course, your 5k stake back again, which will total 180k. All right? I will be there in a minute. I'll be there in a minute.
Thank you very much. So, again, everything that you've seen in this theatre tonight is pre-recorded, and that's because right now, while you're watching this, I'm in a secret location somewhere in mainland Europe, so I don't get recognised. And if all of this is going to plan, I'll be now making my way into a casino. To avoid drawing unnecessary attention to myself, and to get you as close as possible to the action, we're going to capture it all with concealed cameras. Now, I will have a tiny camera like this up my sleeve, and this will allow you to see the number that I place my chips on. Open wide, see? Just see that dental work there. Lovely, very nice. So, good, you get the idea, lovely. Thank you very much, thank you. So, again, I'll be wearing a camera like that so that you can all see clearly the number that I'll be placing my chips on. So there's one camera on me. Now let me show you the casino. So, let me show you this. To beat the wheel, there are 3 things that I need to do. Firstly, I need to mentally calculate the speed of the wheel. And I'll do that by keeping my eye on the green 0, which is there. And then every time that green 0 goes past, say, this diamond here, I tap my foot. And I'll be tapping my right foot. And that tapping tells me the speed of the wheel. Yes? Secondly, I need to know the speed of the ball, and the ball will be going in the opposite direction, but it's essentially the same thing. Every time the ball goes past the same point, I'll be tapping my left foot. That makes sense? So, thirdly, from those 2 speeds, and from knowing where the 0 is, and from having memorized where all the other numbers are in relation to that 0, I can calculate the drop point. And the drop point is where the ball leaves the outside rim and starts to fall into the center wheel. And then, combining all of these calculations, I should be able to work out where the ball will end up. The only thing that'll get in the way of this working is if the ball starts bouncing around too much. It is not an exact science. Far from it, but hopefully I can get this precise enough to win on a single number and bring home £175,000 for our participant. So right now, as you're watching this, I should be stood keeping my eye on that wheel. So when you next see me in a few moments, I will be in that casino. I'll have just been sent a text message from my producer saying that we're ready to go, and I will place £5,000 worth of casino chips, which will look like this. It's not very much, that's all it is. That's what you'll see, something like that, on whatever number I believe will come up. I'll have to be very quick as well. I only get a few seconds to place the bet after the ball has been spun. And I will only have 1 attempt at doing this. So it just remains for me now to thank you, first of all of you here in the theatre, and to thank you at home for watching the events over these last weeks. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves, and particularly if you took part in the experiments, I hope that you or someone you know had success with them. I wish you a good night, and I pass you now to my future self, sat at a roulette table somewhere in Europe.
Okay, Ben, I'm not actually quite there yet.
Okay.
So, and I still can't identify where I am, so I still can't turn my camera on quite yet. Sorry, but I'll be there in a minute. On the, just so you know, on the truck in front of you,
Yes.
you've got two monitors, which will be showing you simultaneous streams from the two different cameras, right? So the one on the left
Right.
will show you my camera feed. That'll be a close-up, that's my camera. And the one on the right will show you what our other cameraman that we've got in there. And you know, he's going to be hidden up on the balcony, and you'll see what he's seeing on the right-hand monitor, okay? And that'll give you a good, clear shot of the wheel. That's why we've got him in there, so you can clearly see where that ends up. How are you feeling?
Well, a little nervous, I've got to say, at the moment.
You're
But
probably not as much as
excited
me.
at the same time.
I'm so pleased. I could really do with a drink.
Me too.
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to go in. I'm going to get myself ready. I'm going to turn on the cameras. I'll sort of hide myself out of the way, and then the next thing that you'll see is what my camera is showing you. I'm so excited about this, Ben. Thank you so much for doing this and taking part. You're not going to speak to me again, so I'm going to say goodbye. Wish me luck. And
good luck.
Please, thank
May
you.
all the luck be with
Please
you.
don't hate me. Please don't hate me if I get this wrong. Thank you.
Ben, we're just waiting for the link to the monitors, okay?
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Here we go. Here we go. €10 500s, please.
Change 5,000 euros.
Thank you. Oh, one out. Sorry, I was one out. Sorry. Ben, I'm sorry. Ben, I was one out. I will give you your money back. I'm sorry.
Ben, don't worry, we're going to get you £5 back, okay?
Okay, great.
Don't worry.
Good evening. Do you believe in psychic ability? Can you sense what image has been wrapped up behind me here? I'm in the Science Museum, London, and this secret picture, which has been hanging for a week, was drawn by one of the curators. She wrapped it up herself, and she is the only person in the world who knows what it is. So get a pen and loads of paper ready. You are going to take part in a nationwide remote viewing experiment, the largest of its kind. Welcome to the show. This show fuses magic, suggestion, psychology, misdirection, and showmanship. Good evening. Millions of dollars were spent in the 60s and 70s by America and Russia to develop superhuman powers as part of a psychic arms race that ran alongside the Cold War. And tonight we revive some of that bizarre research. I'm in the Science Museum in London, and upstairs, wrapped up in newspaper, is a simple design of some sort, drawn in secret by a lady called Katie, who's a curator of this world-famous museum. Only she knows what it is. I have no idea myself. But is it possible for you, as a nation of viewers, to somehow sense what the design is behind that newspaper? For 7 days, people were able to come and see the picture and draw what they think it is, and online, people have been able to do the same thing, and arriving now, I have a crowd who are ready to try it for themselves. This is an experiment into a psychic skill known as remote viewing. To take part at home, you're going to need a pen and plenty of paper and something to rest on. And as you watch the show tonight, we're going to keep a shot of the hidden design on the screen. So start now to get a sense of what it is. I can't influence you. I don't know what it is myself. Before we do this, though, there's much to show you about this kind of psychic phenomenon and where it came from. And our story starts with a box of bricks. Thank you, you're very kind, thank you. Okay, don't look at me, no eye contact, do not make eye contact, thank you. Thank you. Let me ask you, hello, what's your name? Kaylee, if you come up here for me, and you say you are? Luke. Luke, let me bring you around here and ask you to come round this side for me, Luke. Thank you very much indeed. So we have a crate, a big wooden crate here, and the crate is full of bricks. It's got so many bricks in that you can't lift it, so you will not be able to lift it, but I'm going to ask you to try anyway, OK? Does that make sense? Yeah. And your job is to try and guess how many bricks you think are in there that would make it impossible to lift. Let me just give you a brick first of all, so you can sense the size and weight and shape of an individual brick. There's one there for you. OK? So, Katie, let me just start with you. Grab a handle on that side and a handle on this side over here. OK, just really try. That's good. Really straight. OK, up a little bit. That's as far as it's going to go, yes? Do you want to drop it, put it back down? How many? 20, 30, 100?
30.
30, about 30 bricks or so like that. Actually, why don't you both try together? So you take the handle there again. You take the handles on that side. Now, as you try, as I said, it's going to keep pushing down, but just the more you try, just try and lift it. How many in there? How many in there, Luke, do you think?
20.
10, more than that, presumably 100? 100? OK, all right, put it back down again. Thank you very much. All right. OK, so 100, 200, something like that. Maybe you're thinking about 30. Now, we're going to try and I will remove half of the bricks, thus making it lighter. All right? I will remove half the bricks. Watch. Half the bricks are now gone. Take hold of the handles on your side, take hold of the handles on your side. You'll be able to lift it a little bit more, so just try again. Try hard. You can lift it up a bit. Good, good. Let me take another half of the bricks away. Gone again. It gets lighter. and lighter each time they do that. Getting lighter. What's this like? Lighter. Getting lighter. Keep lifting, keep lifting it, keep lifting. I'm taking away half the bricks each time. I'm keep lifting, gets lighter, and lighter, and lighter, and up, and up. Keep lifting it as high as it'll go, as high as it'll go. On the count of 3, I'll clap my hands, the bricks are going to come back. Please mind your feet as it comes crashing down. 1, 2, 3. Excellent, thank you very much indeed. Thank you, too. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. What you've just seen there is a piece of propaganda used 150 years ago by a French magician called Robert Houdin to convince some Algerian Arabs that the French had superpowers, like being able to take away someone's strength, as opposed to just being snotty. And because that was 150 years ago and being done with a fairly unsophisticated group of people, perhaps you might think, well, that sort of thing would never work again today. But the thinking of the magician has always been part of propaganda. Let me show you this. In 1968, the Russian KGB leaked a piece of footage as propaganda to the CIA. And the Americans were terrified because it suggested that the Russians had learned to harness the human mind as a weapon. And this led to the CIA reacting by doing their own psychic research, and then this extraordinary kind of psychic arms race developed for 20 years, costing millions and millions of dollars. I'm going to show you the footage that kicked all this off. This is a woman called Nina Kolagina, and she is moving a compass needle using her psychic ability. Have a look. There we go. Actually, just pause it just for a second. The fact this is weird, old, grainy, silent footage immediately makes it seem much more plausible, like it might be science, like it might be really happening, which may be true. She might absolutely be doing this for real, or she may have magnets in her bra. All I'm saying is just bear that in mind as you carry on watching this. There you go. I think the magnetics theory holds. And our nipples repel each other as well, which is another clue. Oh, look at this bulb at the end flickering out is interesting as well. Now, you've all brought light bulbs with you. We asked you to bring bulbs from home. Get your bulbs out. I want to see them. What's interesting is that that flickering light bulb thing has remained with us. It's become part of the magician's myth, you know, the idea that a psychic or a magician has this kind of energy that makes light bulbs flicker. You see it in films when the satanic antagonist enters a room and the zzz, you know, the lights flicker above him. Let me try this with... Where's that? Is that from home? Is that one of yours from home, or did you... Yeah? Actually, no one's touched it. That is definitely your bulb. Actually, what's your name? Michael. Michael? Yeah. Would you head up with me? Thank you, Michael. Give Michael a hand. If you can put yourself there. Thank you, Michael. And I'm going to ask you, can you initial that sort of metal base of the bulb, and on both sides as well, just so you can keep your eye on that and you'll know that it will remain your bulb throughout. These metal bases on light bulbs, sadly, are not magnetic, so my special bra won't do me any good today. Well, she's wearing it anyway, just in case. But thank you. Pop that there. So, Michael, if you sort of forget about all the kind of fake psychics and charlatans. The fact is we're hardwired to convince ourselves of these kind of beliefs. The moment you start to entertain the idea of a psychic belief, then instead of laying dormant on the table like your bulb here, it starts to gain its own momentum. Then we start looking for evidence that backs up what we already believe, and that makes us just believe it even more. And that's what we call a circular belief. Please, check it. There's nothing attached. Pick it up, have a look at it. Yeah? Okay. Now, if you hold it in... Actually, hold both hands out. If you take it... just so you can hold the base of it like that. OK. Just up like that. That's great. What happens is, eventually, you end up sort of taking hold of this belief. It becomes part of your values. It sort of becomes your thing. And it means that instead of sort of worrying about, oh, is this all there is to life, you can end up taking a deep breath in and letting this belief in rubbish become your guiding light. Become something that you want to share with everybody else, regardless of whether or not they want to hear about it. And I think it takes real guts, Michael, to be able to take that belief and to be able to sit back and kind of look at it from a different perspective. Something you can look at that you can even isolate. Actually, can you open the bag up for me? Thank you. Drop that in there. Thank you. like that. So you can isolate the belief and you can look at it in isolation. You can kind of contain it and study it and think to yourself, is that something that has any basis in reality at all? And if not, should I be making major life decisions based on it? And you can get really close up to it and examine it and question it and question it. And if you're brave enough, maybe you can just let it go. With a big bang. Alakazam. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you. So, to be clear, I do not believe in psychic ability, and my attempt at remote viewing tonight does not rely on the paranormal. So with that in mind, let's look at what I had to do to prepare for tonight. I asked Katie, the curator, to draw something simple, like a design or a simple picture. Here's what happened. Hello, Katie.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Thank you. So lovely to meet you too. Thank you so much for doing this. So you're a curator at the Science Museum.
Yeah, that's right.
You've kindly lent us yourself for this experiment. Thank you very much. So I'm going to give you this, which is a big board and some black paint and a brush, and I'm going to ask you to go and paint something on this. Now, the only limitation I'm going to give you, please, is that it's something that's going to be relatively simple, a kind of a design of some sort. I'd like you to go home and do it so that you know nobody could possibly be seeing what you're doing. So lock yourself away, draw the curtains, hide in the cupboard, whatever you like. Make sure nobody sees it. When you've done it, don't tell anybody what it is that you've painted. I want you to keep it yourself. Then you're going to wrap it up in newspaper, and then you're going to bring it to the Science Museum. And I'd also ask you maybe to change your mind a few times before you actually start painting, so that you know that nobody could possibly know what you've painted, and that is a decision you're making just at that moment. Does that make sense? Thank you very much indeed. Well, there's your brush and paint.
In the
Very
back.
good. Have fun.
I'll do my best.
And good luck.
All right,
and
thanks.
entirely up to you what you paint. Thank you so much. Thank
Bye.
you. Well, your security guard will give you a hand there. Thank you so much, Katie. You can come down and join me, please.
Thanks,
Thank you. Hello, thank you
Hello
very much.
again.
Well done, well done. So nobody saw you draw the picture as well. I take it you locked yourself away at home and
Absolutely. Nobody's seen it, not even my boyfriend.
obviously you're not going to tell anybody what it is either. Fantastic. Now this is going to be sealed off. Tell us about the security you have in this place.
Absolutely. Well, the bridge is going to be secured for the next week, so nobody's going to be on there. And then the museum has 24-hour security and cameras on all the time, so no one's going to be able to tamper with it in any kind of way.
And this, after all, is probably one of the most secure buildings in the country, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
And that's going to sit there for a week, during which people will be able to come here to the museum and stand here, look at it, and draw what they think it is, to read your mind. And, well, here is Katie. Now, Katie's the only person who knows what's there, and she's in an isolation tank in a secret location. Now, she's currently blindfolded, and she doesn't know where she is. But let's talk to her now. Katie, can you hear me?
Yeah, hello, Derren.
Hello, nice to see you. I know you can't see us. You can take your blindfold off now. Now, you're going to have a bit of a light shining in your eyes, so just be aware. It might take your eyes a little while to adjust. You don't know where you are, do you?
I've got no idea where I am.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. This is basically working like an isolation tank, and you being disorientated in this way, not knowing where you are, it actually does make you a little more suggestible, and it'll make your job easier of mentally projecting the thought that you're going to have. So there's a good reason for this, so thank you for bearing with us. Excellent. Now, keeping an eye on proceedings tonight, we have a team of scientists from the museum who are here to make sure that the experiment is all conducted fairly. Hello? Hello? And this is our crowd. Now, you're going to have the same instructions as everyone at home, just to relax and draw whatever comes to mind. It's very important I have not given you any guidance on what to draw, correct? Correct. Lovely. Thank you. All right. So, at home, let's begin remote viewing now. Katie, I'd like to talk to you for a moment. Can you hear me again, Katie?
Yeah, hi, Derren.
Okay, we're going to begin the process now, Katie. So your instructions are this. We're going to focus in very closely on your eyes. And what I want you to do now, in your mind, Katie, is to begin to mentally project the image that you've drawn. If you have drawn something that is fairly abstract, it will help you if you find things that in your mind that it maybe looks like or resembles. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Okay, fantastic. So Katie, just be doing that now. Start mentally projecting that image across the nation and to these people here. At home and here in the museum, you are now about to remote view. Everybody here as well, take a deep breath in. Let it out and relax. Now imagine an image of the British Isles on a thin sheet of paper, like a newspaper, in front of you. Now that image is whisked away, and on the next sheet of newspaper, it's an image of the south of England. That is whisked away, and on the next sheet you can see London, and on the next, the Science Museum, and on the next, this room, and on the next, a big close-up image of that package with a newspaper around it. Start drawing whatever comes to mind. Now, you as well here behind me. For a week, people have been doing this in the museum, and you are now doing it too. The crowd here are starting to draw as well. Don't think about it. You're going to be drawing whatever comes to mind, shapes and designs throughout the commercial break. The ads will actually distract your conscious mind and allow your unconscious, that is the deeper part of you, to come up with ideas. So keep drawing on several sheets. Don't censor yourself. Don't worry about being specific. Remember, it is just a simple design, so it's likely to be shapes interacting somehow. But if it makes you think of anything in particular, write that down too underneath. So keep drawing, and we'll see you in a moment. Stop drawing if you haven't already. You've just played your part in a great big television first. You have just joined with the nation and people here in the psychic skill of remote viewing. So people here are now bringing up their drawings, and Katie, you can stop concentrating now on your mental image. We're going to turn off your sound just for the moment, so you can't hear us. We'll speak to you later. Thank you if you took part. You have all drawn what your unconscious mind has suggested that the picture is, and we have a team of independent adjudicators who will be sorting through the pictures that people have drawn here tonight to see which pictures have come up the most, as well, of course, as those left by visitors here in this glass box over the course of a week. At home, then, as well, please spread out in front of you what you've drawn so you can see everything there too. Guys, can we get this box emptied out, please, so we can see what's in there? Ever so big and strong. Meanwhile, aside from remote viewing, the psychic arms race led the CIA to look into the idea of sleeper assassins. These were innocent people who could be programmed to commit crimes, such as assassinations, without realizing. And I took that as the inspiration for this next piece. I wanted to take a member of the public who had no idea that he was being targeted and see if I could make him do something completely unexpected and out of character, possibly even break the law. This small cafe was the perfect size to find the target. Rigged with hidden cameras, including a camera in my glasses, it was just a matter of time before someone came in. My idea is to use a technique called mirroring. This will enable me to have some control over their actions. The first stage of mirroring involves trying to copy the other person's body movements so that we get into sync with each other. It often takes several attempts before I find the right person. It wasn't her. Once I'm mirroring them, I'll try to lead their actions so that they're copying my actions without being aware of it. After a while, a third person appears. After 20 minutes, I've got this guy in sync with me, so now I'm going to try and lead his actions. He's now copying me without realizing it, and I'm going to try and make him feel sleepy. Sleeper agents were used by both sides during the Cold War, the ultimate goal being to control the minds of these agents in order to get them to do something illegal, which is what I'm going to attempt here. There are two things for you to unplug on the TV. The little red girl is your trigger. I pay for his coffee and leave. We follow him using hidden cameras as he walks up London's Tottenham Court Road. best known for its large number of electronic shops. The little red girl is your trigger. Although the shop's manager had been pre-warned, the shop assistants had no idea what we were doing. So to avoid the police being called, I gave the TV back to its rightful owners.
I was walking down the street and I saw quite a nice television that I liked in that shop, and I thought I'd pick it up and get it.
I saw a man in front with a TV there, and he happened to sort of be fiddling with it, looking at it. Before I could ask him for help, he had disconnected everything from the TV, and he just walked out.
Thank you very much. And we have our shoplifter somewhere at the back, so feel free to chat to him later. The other element of the CIA's wasted psychic research was remote viewing. And remote viewing is the ability to see and describe an object that actually is completely hidden. And it was of interest to the CIA because to them it meant that they might be able to read a secret document that's locked into a box. Or even, as was also claimed, to be able to see through someone else's eyes. So you could be in Washington and you could be looking through the eyes of a government minister in Russia and describe what it was that he's looking at. Now, it's also of great interest to me because, of course, I know I can sort of approximate that kind of effect, but without using psychic ability. So in researching this, I came across this next guy that I want to introduce you to. He is probably the world's foremost expert on remote viewing. He does it himself, he trains people in it, and he absolutely claims that he can look through somebody else's eyes and describe what it is that they're looking at. So we flew him over, we asked him to demonstrate, and I was really intrigued to see what the results were. We've come to a quiet part of London to meet with a man called Dr. Carr. He believes he can see places and objects across space and time, and also says he has the extraordinary ability to enter the mind of another human being using his skill of remote viewing. Dr. Carr, thank you so much for flying over to be with us today. Looking into remote viewing, your name has come up again and again and again, so perhaps you just talk us through your credentials and what it is that you do.
I have a private practice as a psychologist, and I also teach remote viewing.
Okay.
Including the military remote viewers. There's still a debate going on whether remote viewing is real or not. I think anyone who does his homework will find out that there is ample evidence to support it.
So, under controlled conditions, we invited Dr. Carr to take part in an experiment. Right now, somewhere across town, is Lauren. I've asked her to choose a location and go there and not tell me anything about it. Once Lauren has arrived, she will be asked to call me so Dr. Carr can begin the lengthy process of filling out over 100 pages of information that he will receive during the remote viewing process. Here we are. Here she is. Lovely ringtone. Hello, is that Lauren?
Hello, yeah, I'm here.
Hello, it's Derren. So you've arrived at your location. Thank you, Lauren. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. There you go, she's there. Over to you. Neither Dr. Carr nor I have any idea where Lauren is, and now that she's arrived, Dr. Carr will attempt to see through her eyes and discover her location. To do this, he begins a process of filling out over 100 pages of information with drawings and words that he believes he's receiving from Lauren.
Arch, steps, temple, downstairs, garden, fence, chain, gazing, a circular Lots of stones on top of each other. Sense of looking
This
out.
leads to Dr. Carr entering her body in an act he calls blending.
I'm going to try to blend with Lauren a little bit right now. One of the ways I can do it, I can put Lauren in front of me, and I can step inside her body and describe what I see. I feel like I'm sitting, my legs are dangling a little bit. It's almost like I can see a boat, too, from where I am, too. I want to do that for a second. I may be way off.
So, after an hour and a half of writing hundreds of words and drawings and having entered Lauren's body, Dr. Carr has arrived at what he believes is a series of possible images of Lauren's location.
Okay.
Wow. What a marathon. So let's invite her back and find out where she's been. Right, your time is up. You can now stop. You can now stop staring. Thank you very much for this. I'd like you to head back. Hello. Sit yourself down. Could you read to Lauren those final pages that was sort of felt like a summation?
Well, also I can just summarize. There seemed to be almost maybe a church-like or something that was relaxing about it there, and perhaps a garden nearby, or possibly. Yeah, old brick stones, some kind of tower, also a sense of water or fountain or some kind of movement, also art. People could go inside. It was inviting.
I think we're ready to see what it is. Let's have a look then.
It's actually a fountain.
Okay, so
and a
art.
sculpture, yeah.
Okay.
It's the horses of Helios.
Yeah, I'm not saying I totally nailed it.
I saw actually in one of your drawings there's like 4 objects.
So this might be my closest representation, even though it's very fuzzy. But the description is correct in our round sculpture, water.
Do you feel 50-50? Do you feel almost 100%?
I'd say it was over 50%.
Over 50%? As in whatever? Give it a percentage.
No, like 55-60, because I think some key information was picked out.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Intriguing, maybe plausible, perhaps. Of course, you are seeing an edited version there. You are seeing the version that a TV program would show you when they are showing somebody demonstrating psychic ability. I, of course, was sat there for the whole hour and a half and filling out 100 sheets of paper, and I was a bit more sceptical. So what I wanted to do is take an objective viewpoint and see how accurate he really was. So first of all, the picture that he showed at the end, he actually showed about five pictures in the end he came up with, and they're all fairly ambiguous, and you can draw your own conclusions from that. And the one picture he did pick out there, which was this one, kind of looks maybe a little bit like the fountain, but of course he focused on that one after Lauren had told him what it was that she was looking at. In terms of what he said, the descriptions that he gave, to his credit, he did say fountain-like. That's something he did say once during the process. And also 6 times, he said, and 6 was the largest number of times he gave any specific description, he did say wet. But also 6 times, he said boat-like and church-like, which kind of would be wrong. And when you go back over the hour and a half and pull out all the specific descriptions that he said, you realise that it kind of covers everything. That you could take any landmark in London or any other historic city and you could kind of make it fit. Now, this is no reflection on Dr. Carr. He's a very nice chap. I'm sure he's very sincere, which is why I've taken this and I've formed from it my own version of remote viewing, which I'm going to be doing later on in this programme, and I hope, with much, much clearer results. Well, the drawings are being sorted, and we've got the ones over here on this table that have been done this evening, and on this table are the drawings that were left in the glass box by visitors to the museum. And everything is also being overseen by the staff and the scientists at the museum, just to make sure that everything is genuinely fair and square. Now, once we've filtered out the cocks, the question will be, will the pictures that have been drawn here this evening, and those drawn by visitors to the museum, and those drawn by you at home, bear any relation to what Katie drew? We'll find out very soon. For the first time on television, we are conducting a nationwide remote viewing experiment to see if you can sense what image or design is behind that newspaper. For a week, people have left their guesses here in the Science Museum. This evening, you at home have put yourselves to the test, trying to see through the eyes of our curator, along with a crowd here in the museum. So I've asked a museum scientist to have a look and pick out any drawings that seem to be coming up more than the others. So, Rob, will you join us for a second and tell us what you found? First of all, what's your job here? You are the...
I'm Assistant Curator of Technology.
Very nice to meet you. Thank you. I guess that's why you don't have to wear the orange
Yeah.
T-shirt with the others. So what have you got there, Rob? What are the ones that are coming up more than others?
Well, we've got vehicles, particularly trains.
So train there, quite nicely drawn. OK.
Quite a few concentric circles.
Yes, I was going to say spirals. Concentric circles?
Yeah.
Yes, OK.
Quite a few that look a little bit like Stonehenge.
You're getting quite a lot of these?
Yes.
OK.
And then, out of all the animals, mostly horses.
So you're getting quite a... I expect a few animals, but horses?
Mostly horses.
OK, I'd imagine dogs and cats would be. Are you getting a lot of dogs and cats as well?
No, mostly horses.
Mostly horses. Now, now these are fairly unusual in terms of what I imagine most people would draw. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you so much. Please do carry on. So perhaps one of these feels right to you at home. So try repeating the exercise and letting your hand draw again and see if it comes up with one of these four things. Now, if you do find yourself drawing one of these now, or if you see that one of these is already in your drawings that you've already done at home, please let us know. We'll put as many text messages on screen as possible. Text events, followed by your message or what you've drawn, and your name and your hometown to 84444. And we'll be back soon with the results. But while you start to text us, I want you to move from the various Cold War phenomena to the specific skill of remote viewing, and how somebody sceptical of psychic ability like me could make sense of it. And we began with a little game. This is Priscilla. She has an unusual job as a court illustrator, which involves retaining strong images of faces, as she's only allowed to draw them when she's left the courtroom. I thought she'd be ideal for playing my version of Guess Who. OK, so Priscilla, we're going to play a giant game of Guess Who. I'm going to ask you to face this way, and I'm going to ask you to close your eyes as well, because there's a few windows around. I don't want you catching a reflection. So stay there for 1 second for me. OK, so I'm going to want a few volunteers in the group. If you want to do this, could you just put your hand up? OK, hands down. I think you'll be perfect for this. Let me bring you forward. Priscilla has no idea who I've selected. I'm hoping that in the next few minutes, she's going to be able to gradually imagine the face of the person I've picked who's standing behind her. So, Priscilla, in a moment, this person behind you, who still has a sack over his or her head, is going to place his or her hand on the back of your shoulder. As you feel that happen, I want you to begin in your mind to form what we're going to call your sort of face image that you're going to form in your mind. And I would say do it very, very slowly. So you're going to begin just with a vague, shapeless blob, and very slowly as we go on, we'll begin to turn it into a distinct face. So just fingertips, just there. I'm going to only ask you yes or no questions. According to Priscilla's answers, all of you will be listening, please, to her answers and eliminating yourself if need be. So the first question I'm going to ask is this person a man? Now, if Priscilla says yes, then we will continue with the men, and all the women will eliminate themselves. And when you eliminate yourself, please just take your bag off your head first of all, and then I'll ask all those people eliminated to go and stand at the back. So, Priscilla, your first question. So you're going to answer nice and clearly, yes or no. As you begin to form this face image in your mind, is this person a man? Yes or no?
No.
No, that is a no. OK, so if you are a man, please take your sack off because you are eliminated. Thank you, and nothing has happened here at the front, which is good. We can tell that Priscilla was right in that answer. Our mystery person has not been eliminated, so Priscilla is correct so far. The moment this person is eliminated, we'll know Priscilla has made a mistake. Priscilla, I'm ask you to turn round and face our target individual. Continue in your mind, and you can do this with your eyes open or eyes closed, I don't mind, to form this face image and just slowly bring this together to form a face. All right. Priscilla, does this face image that you're forming, does it have dark hair?
No.
No. If you have dark hair, and this applies to all of you, take your sack off your head now. Sacks off, and sack off. to the back of the room. Thank you. Dark hair have been eliminated and men have been eliminated. Correct again. Our mystery person is still in the game. Priscilla, does this person have her hair tied back?
Yes.
Yes, we have a yes. So if your hair is not tied back, I'm afraid you are now eliminated from the game. Please remove your sack if your hair is not tied back. Again, good. No movement here at the front. Excellent. We're now down to just 2 people. Amazingly, Priscilla has eliminated 29 people and the mystery person is still there. And now there are only 2 people left. Can she get the very last question right? Has this person, yes or no, last question, would you say this person has long earrings?
No.
Okay, if you've got long earrings, you are good. Well, that's yes, you can take your sack off. Thank you very much. Head back to your place at the back. So this leaves 1 lady at the front. You've got everything right so far. Now, before we take the sack off this lady's head, I'm now intrigued to know exactly what image you have in your mind of this. So I'm going to ask you to draw a picture of this face image that you've sort of built up during this process. This is step-by-step remote viewing. If I'd have asked Priscilla to somehow describe an unseen face in one go, it would have seemed impossible to her. But doing it piece by piece allows for an image and her confidence to grow in tiny baby steps. As you were forming this image, what colour eyes you left? You said quite light.
They're blue.
The colour hair, I think you said was blonde, wasn't it? Any earrings at all? Any jewellery, do you think?
Yes, stud earrings.
Stud earrings.
Hair tied back.
Hair tied back, stud earrings. I mean, I haven't been giving you any clues as we've been doing this. You haven't been aware of me giving you any hints or clues as we've been doing it, no. So you're happy this has really genuinely come out of your own mind, yes?
Yes.
That's extraordinary.
Wow.
So, stud earrings? Yes, can we see those? Large blue eyes, definitely, strikingly so. And you've definitely even got the mouth and the chin, that's absolutely fantastic. Thank you. What's your name? Sinead, thank you very much, Sinead. Thank you. And Priscilla, thank you too.
Well, I was imagining the shape of her face, and then I was imagining that shock of blonde hair. I was thinking about her big blue eyes, stud earrings, and then that her hair was pulled back. I saw the girl that I was imagining, and that was amazing.
I was quite amazed because she'd never seen me before, obviously. I believe it could be to do with psychic abilities because it looks very much like me, which is obviously a bit freaky.
And we do have Priscilla with us tonight. So Priscilla, well done. Congratulations. Fantastic. Excellent job. Priscilla, everybody. Thank you so much for that. Now, because Dr. Carr's test was kind of inconclusive, I wanted to look into a different area. And it was rumoured that the CIA tried out remote viewing using blind people, partly because it obviously meant they couldn't cheat by looking, but it also, there's this idea of if there's one sense that you're not using, then your other senses become heightened. Now, in my research into this, I came across this next chap that I want to introduce you to, who is extraordinary. His name is Daniel Kish. He's been blind since he was tiny, but he has developed an extraordinary and genuine skill, which has its parallels in remote viewing. So have a look at this, because this guy is remarkable. Daniel, real pleasure to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Thank you for flying over from LA. Can you just talk us through what your work is and how you spend your time?
We teach people how to perceive their environment the same way that a bat perceives its environment. We learn to issue a sound, which could be a tongue click, and that sound goes out and it bounces off of everything in the environment, and it comes back.
Now, you're going to demonstrate this to us, so let's just talk a little bit about your own situation.
I am totally blind. Both eyes were removed by 13 months of age, and I have no visual memory. So my perception of space and perception of the world comes entirely through touch and through hearing.
Let me bring you over this way. I'm taking Daniel to somewhere he has never been before. He's going to show us how, just by making a clicking sound from his mouth and without using his cane, he can perceive the physical world around him in amazing detail.
So you've got maybe a tree that's lost all of its leaves. Or, wait a second now. Okay, now I take that all back. Okay, so you've got a wall there, and then you have an entryway here.
Ah.
So basically, so this goes between the wall and something else.
Yes.
Let me just see what we have here. You can go between here. Okay, there's something way over there, and it's a textured building. So there are alcoves. I can hear colonnades.
So Daniel, we brought you to a car. You were confident you'd be able to give us a sense of the shape of the car and to describe its contours.
Yeah, I think so. So, all right. So we're starting with the bonnet. It's fairly low bonnet, and then it kind of comes up, across the top, across the top, across the top, across the top, and then it starts to stop right there, and it comes down at a fairly steep angle, but not straight down.
There you go. That's the car. It's difficult for me to understand how you'd have such a spatial sense of a wall or a car of exactly that shape, but not a visual thing that you're putting in that space at the same time. So I suppose
you might think of it like being in a choir or in an orchestra or near a performance where you have many, many, many things going on all at one time. And if you're listening, you really have that sense of surrounding, of sound surrounding you. And so what I often tell people is that the world is really like a living symphony. Every sound made in the world and every texture presented in the world carries its own meaning. This car, in a sense, is kind of like an instrument, except that instead of making its own sound, it's reflecting sounds that I'm making.
It's been an extraordinary afternoon spending time with you. Thank you so much for coming along and sharing your wisdom and your expertise with us. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you very much.
Daniel's skills are real, remarkable, and appear to be magic. And if the remote viewing experiment works tonight here and across Britain, it is down to a combination of all of the things that I've shown you this evening. Now it's time to look at the results. Here we go. I've got the two adjudicators here with me. Now, you were looking after the table with all the pictures from the last week in the glass box. You were looking after the ones from the people here tonight. So, I'll start with you because you've already shown us a few of the ones that were coming up overall.
Yeah, we had over 1,000 drawings,
yes.
And most popular was at 35%. We had about 35% concentric circles, and then after that, about 10% of Stonehenge drawing.
35% is actually a huge amount to draw.
Massive.
Bear in mind, people could draw anything.
Yes.
Well, that's okay. That's remarkable. So that's the people for the last week. How did it go in this lot from people here tonight?
We actually had similar things. We had 91 entries tonight.
Yes.
And 30% of them were concentric circles again.
So concentric circles is by far the most popular.
Yeah.
With an amazing 30%, give or take. You were a little bit more, 35%. Excellent. Well, thank you both. It is extraordinary so far. Just to remind you, of course, at home, that Katie can't hear any of this. She's got no idea what's been going on here in this room. So the question is, of course, what have you drawn at home? So please have a look back through your drawings. Have you drawn concentric circles as well? And if you have, text us events, then your message and your name and town to 84444. But of course, all of this means nothing until we see what image Katie has drawn. So after the break, that is exactly what we're going to do. Weeks ago, Katie drew a picture in secret at her home with no one else around. She wrapped it up securely and hung it here in the Science Museum, one of the most secure venues in the country. The picture has been guarded and surrounded by the museum's 24-hour security cameras. It is sealed up, no one could have tampered with it, and Katie has not told a soul what it is. Now, I've asked people here, visitors to the gallery, and you at home to draw what you think it is, and we have had the same drawing come up again and again here, concentric circles. So let's talk to Katie now. Katie, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you, Derren.
Fantastic. Now, you haven't been hearing what's been going on really up to this point, have you?
Not at all, no.
Not at all. Well, listen, Katie, we've had the same drawing come up again and again and again. Now, I'm going to tell you what it is, but I don't want you to react. Okay, it might be right or wrong. What I do want you to do, though, is just to quietly in your head think about whether or not it relates to what it was that you drew. We're not expecting this to be an exact match or an exact description of what you drew, but hopefully it will relate to it in some way. Does that make sense to you, first of all?
Yep, it does.
Okay, but please don't react, don't give anything away as to whether or not you think this is right or not. But what almost 30% of people have drawn is a set of concentric circles over and over again. Okay, you heard that?
Yep, heard that.
With that in mind, we are now going to undo your painting, and these people here are going to find out, and people at home are going to find out for the first time what it is that you actually drew. So let's do it. Michael, can you open the painting for us? Let's have a look. Michael is removing the barrier, making his way to the painting. Can you reach up there, Michael? Let's see what Katie drew. Okay, first things first, can you just verify what it was that you drew, Katie?
I drew 3 concentric circles.
3 concentric circles, and I think you've signed it as well. How did you sign it?
With a KM.
KM, you initialed it at the side. Can I ask you, as you were sat there thinking of this, you did a great job. It obviously worked. Whatever you were doing was fine. What were you thinking in your mind? Were you just picturing them as circles? Were you turning them into various pictures? What were you sort of picturing?
A target, Stonehenge, which what the little dashes were on my picture.
What? Stonehenge?
Yeah, absolutely, Stonehenge.
Viewed from above, presumably?
Yeah, viewed from above with the little sort of dashes of the stones.
Well, everybody here, I don't know what everyone here is thinking, but the most popular drawn thing was concentric circles. That was 30%. About 10% of people drew Stonehenge.
Ooh.
Katie, this has been extraordinary. I think it's been a great success, but thank you, Katie. Thank you so very much indeed. A round of applause for Katie.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Extraordinary. Now, thank you for taking part. Now, you should be able to now see on the screen results coming in from viewers at home. And if this has worked, a lot of them should be saying concentric circles. I don't know if that's worked because we're recording this about 3 weeks before this show goes out. So now that I know Katie has drawn concentric circles, I now have plenty of time to persuade you at home to do the same thing. So I'm going to put into every major daily newspaper on the 25th of September a tiny advert telling you to draw concentric circles. And today, as you're watching this show, if you flick through your newspaper, you will have unconsciously picked up on that instruction. On the screen now, we'll be showing you the papers and the pages in those papers where I will place the instruction in the form of a small classified ad. If you've drawn anything resembling concentric circles tonight, now you know why. Now, as for why so many people here got it, who knows? And as for what you might have imagined those concentric circles to be, well, that's up to you. Katie pictured them as Stonehenge, and loads of people here, amazingly, did pick up on Stonehenge too. Now, maybe that is just a bizarre coincidence. I'm going to leave that to you to decide. Thank you for taking part. Katie, I'm sorry, you still don't even know where you are, do you?
Nope, not at all.
No, well, you can come out now. Thank you so much. You can come out and get some fresh air.
Stonehenge.
This show fuses magic, suggestion, psychology, misdirection, and showmanship. If you watch my show live on Wednesday night, you'll have seen me correctly predict the National Lottery. Tonight, I'll show you how I did it. Thank you very much. Thank you. On Wednesday, I was handsome enough to predict Her Majesty's Lottery live on television. I didn't profit in any way from it, as Channel 4 didn't allow me to buy a ticket. But it's been fantastic reading all the conspiracies and speculations around at the moment. Lasers writing numbers onto the balls and moving them somehow, and split screens and balls with special LED readouts and impossible sleight of hand. But if you missed it, here's what it looked like. The BBC broadcast the lottery draw, absolutely live, 100% live to the second. We are doing the same here. And when I turn the television on, when I'm allowed to, I'll get a nod in a second when I can do that, you can flick back and forward between the BBC and this one to see that we are absolutely live and in sync with the BBC. The most you'll get is like a tiny whisker of a delay, about a second, because we're taking a BBC feed, essentially, and then passing it through Channel 4 to get to you, and that takes about a second or so. But the BBC are live, 100% live. The lottery draw is live. We are 100% live here. I'm being told there's a little bit about 30 seconds before we can turn the television on. I should say this is the culmination of like a year's obsession over this. I've had lottery numbers all up over the wall of my house. I'm feeling a little bit sick. Please wish me luck, and if it goes wrong, as I'm after 5 out of the 6, if it goes wrong, or I only get a couple, or none at all, I'm really sorry, and I'll apologise about that in advance. I'm really sorry, but this hopefully will work. Again, I've done nothing illegal. There's nothing that will affect your chances of doing this, and there'll be a show on Friday at 9 o'clock showing you how I did this as well. So you can watch that, you can find out how I did it, and if you like, you might want to try the same thing too. We can turn the TV on. We can turn the TV on. So this will come on in a second. You can flick between the BBC and Channel 4 if you want. This will warm up in a second to see that this is absolutely live. Here we go. God. So this is from Lottery HQ. This is still the dream number, isn't it? Okay. So. This is just... Oh, no, this is it. It's not the dream number. We're now into it. So, yes, here we come from the rather shiny, lovely studio of the BBC that they call Lottery HQ. They have a glamorous assistant every week to help present. This week's glamorous assistant is O.J. Borg. There he is. And the jackpot there, 2 million, 400,000. That's quite exciting. There it is. There's the draw master with the white gloves. Oh, the balls are down. The voice is the voice of Alan Dedicott. The voice of the balls. This is an initial production for the BBC and the National Lottery Commission. I'm required to say that. That's a close-up there, so you can see there's no tampering going on. Yes, Alan Dedicott there, the voice of the balls. We'll be talking you through them. And he's about to press the big red shiny button that they press to make a lot of people very rich. There's been 2,000... Oh, there he goes. He's gone. He's gone. Oh, God.
First one, number 23. Let's not forget, to date, National Lottery players have raised over £23 billion for the good causes. Next up is number 35, with us last Wednesday night as well, that 183rd time as a main ball, and the third to be drawn. Out she comes, that's number 11, drawn the Wednesday before last too, you'll recall if it's one of your chosen few, 225th lotto outing. Here's the next one. And that is number 28. Don't forget, out of every pound spent on the National Lottery, around 28 pence goes to the good causes. Next out is number 39. We've seen it over the last 2 Saturday nights as well. 205th lotto outing for that one. And the 6th one that could make you very rich is right there, number 2. 4th number drawing just last weekend. That little beauty, 180th time it's been a main ball. The bonus tonight is number 15. So, Millionaires Row midweek looks like this in a
bonus ball
order.
Doesn't matter. We're not involved in the bonus ball. So in order we have 2, 11, 23, 28, 35, and 39. Those are the lottery numbers for this week: 2, 11, 23, 28, 35, and 39. And ladies and gentlemen, my prediction for the lottery numbers this week are 2, 11, 23, 28, 35, 39, in numerical order. Those are the numbers. That's a year of my life right there. I hope you can see those. 2, 11, 23, 28, 35, and 39. Thank you. Thank you. So, there are a lot of questions I get frequently asked. What am I thinking? Why are you in my garage? And so on. One question, however, I would hear more than any other was, go on then, what are the lottery numbers? Go on then, what are they? What are the lottery numbers? And I'd always say, shush, shush, we're supposed to be having sex. But having been asked so many times, I started thinking about it, and I thought to myself, how would you go about predicting the lottery? So ignoring the bonus ball, which is mainly for women and gays, how do you predict 6 random numbers spat out by a machine? My chances of correctly guessing at random are the same as anyone else's, 1 in 14 million, which is an interesting statistic. If you're a healthy middle-aged man, the chances of you dying over the course of the next year are roughly 1 in 1,000. Therefore, the chances of you dying in any given hour are 1 in 9 million. So that means if you're sat at home with your lottery ticket an hour before they do the draw, you are more likely to be dead before they announce the numbers than you are to win. I needed a better strategy. As I saw it, there are 3 ways to predict the lottery. 1, fake a lottery ticket. 2, genuinely predict the numbers. And 3, fix the machine. I disregarded the first option. Faking a ticket wasn't the same thing, it seemed to lack imagination, and it would be illegal, so maybe there was a way of predicting the numbers. This was to lead me down a fascinating path into mathematics, superstition, and a powerful, beautiful secret that can only be achieved when we all put our heads together. See you after the break. On Wednesday night, I predicted the lottery. Today, I'll show you how I did it. So the question is, how do you predict a machine's random outcome? I knew I could certainly predict people's random choices, so I took that as my starting point. Be honest. Put your hands up if you don't like mice. Put your hands up if you don't like mice. Good, a hand going up there. Hello, come up here for me. What's your name? What's your name? Charlotte, lovely to meet you. You don't like mice? No. Come with me, come with me. So, Charlotte, thank you. Charlotte, first of all, be honest. Do you just sort of not like mice very much? Or are you properly Mickey-phobic?
I don't like them at all.
Well, this is the game. There are 4 boxes. There's a mouse in one of the boxes. I put a mouse in one of them, but there are no mice in the other 3, okay? The game is, you've got to put your hand into 3 of the boxes and have a route around through the little holes on this side here. But only 3, and I'm hoping, and I presume you are too, that the 3 you put in are the 3 without the mouse in, so that you'll miss the one with the mouse in. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's what I'm hoping will happen. I put it into the one that I think you will avoid. Okay. Now, a couple of things. First of all, it's very important that your choices are entirely random. So, if you think I'm trying to influence you, or if you've already sort of got numbers in your head and ideas as you look at them now, just disregard that. It's very important you make utterly random decisions as you're doing it, and feel free to change your mind as many times as you like before you make a decision. And also, just so you know that I can't somehow move a mouse around from box to box, there are these numbered cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're all blank on the other side, apart from the one that corresponds to the mouse box, and that's got a little picture of a mouse on the other side of the number, just so you know we can't change anything around or move it. So, you begin with a 1 in 4 chance of getting the mouse. Which one are you going to go for? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Entirely up to you. Please make sure it's random.
3.
3. Are you sure?
Yes.
Happy that's random?
Yes.
Okay. Well, this is how we're going to play. Get your hand ready, but don't put it in yet. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, and I'm going to reveal what's inside to the audience first. All right? Okay. But I don't want you looking. You must keep your eyes closed. All right. Close your eyes. Your eyes closed. I'd like you to put your hand in. Keep your eyes closed. Put your hand in. Have a feel around. Make sure you go right into the corners because they can hide. You can open your eyes. There's no mouse. It's just droppings, but there was no mouse. There was no mouse. No mouse there. And of course, there was no mouse. There was no mouse in box number 3. There was no mouse in box number 3, so congratulations. Why don't you like them? What is it about mice that you don't like?
My mum made me terrified as a child.
Oh, really?
And now I just don't like the feel or the look or the sudden movement.
They scamper, don't they?
Yeah.
They do scamper. And bite. Okay, so you now have 1, 2, and 4 left. You've got a 1 in 3 chance. Which one are you going to go for next? Remember, it has to be random, so feel free to change your mind as many times as you like.
1.
Okay, all right, so come here for me. So that'll be box number 1, so get ready, and I'll remove the cloth first. Everybody else can... Yes, close your eyes. Hand in. open your eyes. There's no mouse, it's just some fruit that the mouse likes, but there's no mouse. No mouse at all, congratulations. No mouse in box number 1. There was no mouse. All right, you are now, however, down to the last 2. Box number 2 and box number 4. So it's mainly the way they kind of move around and... Yes. So I like them. I think they're fascinating creatures. Mice, I didn't know this, mice can live for up to 3 days in a human intestine. I find that quite interesting. So, number 2 or number 4? You've got a 50-50 chance. This is the last one. Which you're going to go with, number 2 or number 4? The last one you're going to put your hand in. 2. Are you sure?
Yes.
Change your mind if you like?
No, I'll stick with 2.
You're going to stick with number 2?
Please.
All right, well, it's only 50-50 now, so the odds are no longer in your favour. Come and stand here for me.
Okay.
Get ready with your hand. Sure,
I'm sure.
Okay, all right. Eyes closed, good. No peeking. Audience.
No, I promise.
In you go. Oh, sorry, no, you.
Okay.
You can open your eyes. There was no mouse in number 2 either. She got the 3 without the mouse. Nothing in number 2 either. Congratulations. Congratulations. Would you like, while you were here, would you like to see our little mouse?
I'll see it definitely.
He's quite friendly. I'll just come in and have a look. He's perfectly friendly. There he is. Oh, he's up there. He must have got out. Oh, there he is. Get on it. No, he wasn't there. There is no mouse. There was no mouse. There was no mouse at all. However, it was important to get you frightened, important to get you thinking that there was a mouse there, because it's only by getting you into that state that I can make you fall into a predictable pattern, which is exactly what you did, and you did it absolutely brilliantly. You left box number 4, and box number 4, of course, was the mouse box, number 4. Even though there was no mouse, you went for the correct one. You left number 4. Well done. Thank you. Now, excellent. So, well done. Now, with fear comes suggestibility, and it's easier for me to manipulate your decisions for you when you're in a heightened state, like one of fear. But remember, this is just my starting point for predicting randomness. We're still dealing with people, not machines, and this is only 1 in 4. But let's up the stakes. Here's an example of predicting human randomness when the odds are 1 in 20, and this time with real jeopardy. You got off lightly. I want to see how far fear can increase predictability, so I've had to call in medical backup for this test. Our volunteer Matt is about to face something far scarier than a pretend mouse. Matt, I'll explain the game. There are down there 20 polystyrene cups like this, upturned, yeah? They're numbered on the top, so you've got 1 to 5,
yeah,
and then 6 to 10, 11 to 15, and 16 to 20. You're going to go and stamp on 14 out of the 20, so you can leave 6 untouched, yeah? One of those cups has a knife underneath. In fact, here's a replica. That's what you're avoiding.
Yeah.
If it goes wrong,
yeah,
and you do get a knife through your foot, which we both want to avoid, then how much money would you demand to stick a knife through your foot?
Through my foot? At least, I don't know, 500,000.
£500,000?
Yeah.
Yep. OK. I'm writing out a cheque for £500,000 in case Matt fails my test and requires compensation.
A bit nervous now.
Mm-hmm. Hang on to that if you like, stick it in your pocket. Earlier, I placed the knife under a cup whose number I calculated Matt would instinctively avoid. If I'm wrong, the paramedics get to do more than stand and watch, and Matt gets £500,000 compensation. Might be a bit cold. OK, you also need to clean your feet to just sterilise there. Also just need to give you a tetanus, all right, because obviously what's going to happen. Predicting Matt's random choices is a starting point for predicting the random outcome of the lottery. You're leaving 6 untouched. Can I just ask you one more time if you're happy to do this?
I'm happy to do it, yeah.
OK. In your own time, then. There you go. That's number 1. That's 2. In this game, as he stamps on the cups, Matt has a 70% chance of getting a knife through his foot. 7, you're halfway through. You've only got to do another 7. Ooh, yep, that's fine.
You scared the life out of me then.
9. You got 4 more. Three left. Two more. You've only got to do 1 more. Sure?
No.
Well done.
Oh, my God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, these 6 that are left, which is 1, 12, 13, 14, and 15, and 18, that's random, isn't it? Those are decisions that you were making as you were going on, in terms of you leaving those 6 there,
Yeah.
Those numbers are, I like to think of them as your lucky numbers. Don't ever forget them. Number 1, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 18. The reason why I'm drawing attention to those is because of what's written on the back of the cheque that I gave you when we were up there. You've got it, haven't you? You've got the cheque. Have you still got it on you?
Yeah, the cheque, yeah.
Yeah. Undo the envelope. If you read out what's on the back, I want the camera to be able to see it over your shoulder.
On the back of the cheque?
Yeah.
You will leave 1, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 18.
1,
12,
13, 14, 15,
and 18.
1, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 18. I'm going to take this back now because thank you very much. I'm just wondering whether you want to carry on because that's quite a lot of money. Well, look, it's not under 18. Look, you've only got 4 left to do now. Bet still stands.
I would carry on.
Go on then. Three left. You've got to stamp on 2 of the final 3, leaving 1 cup untouched. Last one. At this point, Matt has a 50-50 chance of stabbing a knife through his foot. Sure? Congratulations again. So, I have to admit to you, the only way that I could do this and know that you'd be safe, predict the 6 that you would not stamp on, was to get you into a state of fear. That was what that was all about. That made you fall into a certain predictable pattern. There is no knife under any of the cups. All right? The injection we gave you was not a tetanus, it was just a saline solution, which is perfectly safe. You're fine. You would never have got hurt. You wouldn't have got hurt, but Jenny would have got hurt. I'll show you Jenny. Look, number 13 you didn't touch. And there is Jenny.
No, I was nervous, obviously, because I'm sitting there thinking there's a chance I'm going to get a knife through my foot. And my adrenaline was going a bit. But I'm shocked that the numbers, the 6 that were left, were the numbers written on the back of the cheque. That's pretty amazing.
Thank you. We actually have Matthew with us tonight in the audience. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, Thank you. So far, so good. People's random decisions can be predicted. But I knew that because people can be influenced. The question is, could a machine be influenced? Now, I thought that was a non-starter and impossible because obviously machines can't think, they don't have minds. However, I then read about an amazing experiment that took place in the 1980s by the Pear Group. The experiment was to see if willpower could affect randomness. It involved a bagatelle board like this, and balls were dropped in from the top, and the idea is they would randomly drop down and could end up anywhere along the bottom. However, the scientists had a load of people will the balls to end up on one particular side to try to psychically influence the direction of the balls as they dropped. And a curious result emerged. More balls did indeed end up on the side that the people were willing them to fall on. Willpower did seem to make a small but significant difference. But I wanted to try the idea for myself. Could a group of people influence, for example, the toss of a coin? Have a look at this. Can a group of people influence the toss of a coin? I got a group together and chose a volunteer. He would be trying to throw his chosen combination of 3 heads or tails. If you were to toss a normal coin 3 times in a row, there are 8 different possible combinations of heads and tails that you can get up. So these are the 8 possible combinations. You're going to choose one of these for yourself, and I'll also choose a combination for me. I'll let you choose first, so which one do you want? Triple H. Triple H, you're going to give this one here. All right, so Martin is going to go for heads, heads, heads. Well, my lucky one is tails, heads, heads, so I'll go for that one. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to be tossing a coin. If your combination comes up first of heads, 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 that is a point to you. If my combination comes up of tails, heads, heads, then that's a point to me, all right? So I can't cheat. Another volunteer is chosen to flip for my team, the Reds. The rest of the group would make up the red team. This is to help you support your red team. The Reds get dressed up and will be cheering in support for their red team. Martin, however, is all on his own. Excellent. So, red team, you know what you're doing. It is up to you to make this happen, to use your energy and your willpower to make Angela win, for her combination to come up more than Martin's. They can switch coin at any time from the hundreds in the box to keep it fair. So Martin's chosen heads, 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 and Angela is trying to flip tails, heads, heads. This is important. Martin and Angela's combinations are exactly as likely to come up as each other. There should be no difference. They'll take turns tossing the coin until one of their chosen combinations comes up, and then that person gets a point. The first person to 10 wins. That is 1 point to our team. Well done, 1 point to the red team. As they're doing this, I want you guys really focusing on the coin. Will it, in your mind, what seems to help is just saying that combination again. Tails, heads, heads, just in your mind, again and again. With the red team willing her to win, Angela soon scores again. Heads, that's the second one. And again. Heads, we have another point. We have another point to Angela. With the red team behind her, there's no stopping Angela. Heads. Yay! 5-0. Martin. Oh, man. It seems that the combined win power of the red team does have an influence on the toss of the coin. Yes! Heads. Martin manages to get one winning combination. Heads, he's won a point! Martin, you won a point! Boo! But with her team behind her, Angela steams ahead to 10 points. It's a heads! We have won! Well done, red team! Oh, Martin!
You know, I don't know. It was all against me. I was just on my own.
Me personally, I do believe in psychic ability. So the fact that I had a team behind me willing me to win enabled me to actually do so.
Thank you. So that seemed like real evidence for the bagatelle experiment, yes? Well, not quite. It does seem like the bagatelle experiment probably doesn't hold up. And as for the coin, it's not psychic. It's a kind of deep maths. And the kind of deep maths that's going to help me with the lottery prediction. I'm going to explain how the coin trick works to you, so that you can go out, place a bet yourself, and win every time. Here's what you do. Ask the other person to make their choice first. This isn't courtesy, it is vital. And from what he says, you work out what you'll say. Now, you do this by taking the middle one of his 3, reversing it, and putting it at the start. So if he says heads, 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 you would take the middle head Reverse it to a tails, put it at the beginning. You'll have tails, then heads, heads, and then you ignore the last one. You then play just as we have, and you'll see you win more times than the other person does. And for further information, you can go to the Channel 4 website on this. Why does this work? Why this works will be an hour program in itself, but suffice it to say it has nothing to do with willpower or psychic ability. It is deep maths. But this deep maths finds predictability in randomness. Just think about that for a second. It is taking something as random as a fair toss of a coin and finding predictability in it. Could I apply that to the lottery? For months, I lived with a year's worth of lottery numbers written up across a wall in my house, trying to think of how you could make predictions from randomness. And then, late one evening, I was having a bowl of oxtail soup, love it, and a memory of something I'd read hit me. In 1906, a scientist called Francis Galton stumbled across a bizarre phenomenon at a country fair. 800 members of the public competed to guess the weight of a prize ox that was on display, and the person who got closest won. But after it was all over, Galton worked out the average guess. In other words, he added up all the estimations and divided by the number of guesses, and the result was the exact weight of the ox. As groups, we make far better decisions than experts on their own ever do. This real phenomenon with huge implications has been called the wisdom of crowds. So, keeping an open mind, I got a group of people together to try the same theory with the lottery. The idea was to have them look at lottery numbers from over the last year and have them guess which ones would come next, and then work out the mean average of their guesses. If there were a pattern, as a group, they would unconsciously find it, even though none of them would know individually what that pattern was. So, 2 Saturdays ago, 24 volunteers, here they are, they all studied the chart and wrote down what they thought the next 6 lottery numbers would be. Then we wanted to get the average guess for each ball. So they'd all been asked to bring calculators with them, and they added up their guesses for each ball and divided by 24 the number of people making guesses. Does that make sense?
Yes.
We ended up with 6 numbers, and then the group went out and they played those numbers that evening. Guess how many of the numbers were correct? 2, 1. It was 1. It was rubbish. So I was ready to ditch the whole idea. But then I thought I'd give it one more go, this time changing one factor. Could emotions, like greed or the anticipation of winning, psychologically get in the way of picking the right numbers? Does the emotion behind wanting to win somehow stop you from winning? We all got together to give it another go. To avoid the greed factor and hopefully get a better result, I asked our 24 volunteers to guess the next 6 lottery numbers and write them down, but we would not do the maths till after the lottery result had been announced. Again, they studied the previous year's worth of draws and went with their instincts. What would the next 6 numbers be? Everybody writes down what they think the first ball will be, so we can add them up and divide by 24 to get the average for ball number 1. And then we'll do the same with ball number 2, and so on. The front row came up to represent the 6 balls, and they noted everyone's guesses.
11.
44.
26.
19.
40. 33.
18. 24. 27.
Then we watched the lottery, the moment of truth. Does anybody else like boom, boom? Now, we haven't got the necessary clearance to show you the lottery results that we were watching, but look online if you want to check this draw's results. It was Wednesday, the 2nd of September. The 8. 7. 4. 2. 27. 35. Good, so you've each got a list of numbers for each ball. You're going to add them all up now and divide by 24, which is the number of people in this room. So, off you go. So our 6 number crunchers were now working out the average of everyone's guesses. We waited for the results of the calculations. Would they match the lottery numbers that had been drawn? So, Terry, will you first of all turn around what you have? You have number 19, which is not one of the balls in tonight's lottery. Eleanor, will you please turn around yours? 23 was also not in tonight's lottery. Sally, will you please turn yours around? Sally has 28, which was in tonight's lottery. A round of applause. Rachel, will you turn yours around? 24. No, again, there is no 24. Neela, can you turn yours around, please? We have 35. That's 2 out of 6. And Kevin, turn yours around. 27. We have 3 out of 6 numbers. We have 3.
After the first session, when we just got 1, I was really surprised at how we got 3 this time, so that's really exciting.
I was just really impressed that we got the other 3 numbers, so it's kind of a good moving forward from last Saturday.
Maybe it's different now that we've seen the result. We got through the balls, so now maybe we feel more like a group and we can do it. It is promising, you know, I mean, now seeing this, it's like, come on, team. We got this in the bag.
And they would have literally won £10 between the 24 of them. So that was a great start. But how was I going to predict all 6 balls? I'll tell you after the break. Good evening. Tonight I'm showing you how you can predict the National Lottery by taking you through how I did it on Wednesday. Using the wisdom of crowds phenomenon, a group of 24 volunteers correctly guessed 3 out of 6 lottery numbers. I brought them back for another session to see if we could get any more right. I thought it'd be a good idea for them to get to know each other a little better first, so I sent them out for a bit of team bonding.
Stick their arms all outside.
Our group shared in team-building activities. This brought them closer together. Their individual psychological barriers dropped as they learnt to relax in each other's company, and this should lead to a better outcome for a lottery prediction. It was time to introduce my next technique. I'm going to try something called automatic writing, which some of you may have heard of. It's a technique used by spiritualists quite a lot when they're supposedly channeling the dead. And this is about utterly detaching yourself from what your hand is doing and writing to the point that you're barely even aware of what you're writing. I got the group to practice the new method. Automatic writing has been attributed to the ideomotor effect, a psychological phenomenon where people make movements outside of their conscious control, which offer a clue as to their deepest feelings and processes. The signs were encouraging, but one subject, Tyler, found the technique tricky, so I removed him from the test and made him responsible for calculating the group's guesses instead. I then set the rest to work, predicting the lottery by using automatic writing. They were allowed to write minus numbers or numbers larger than 49, in fact anything that came out of their hands. Get them to Tyler here up on the table, please. Thank you. I stand back so that Tyler can interpret the writing and begin the calculations while the lottery begins to play. Again, look online if you want to check this draw's results. It was Saturday the 5th of September. 36. I wrote down the results as the group watched them come up live on the television. 22. 12. 13. 26. As before, the totals for each ball were divided by the number of guesses, which in this case was 23. Divided by 23 equals 63. Will the wisdom of crowds phenomenon combined with automatic writing be potent enough to give us a better result this time? 42. So we got one number round the wrong way and one number is 1 off. 22. We have 1. 12. Whoa. 19. No. If this last one is, well, what does it come out to? So, go on, it's 598 divided by 23 equals... $26, $20, oh my God! Okay, 36, we got 63. 41, we got 42. So those two are wrong, but these are correct. We got 22, and this even in the same order, 12, 19, and 26.
Can't believe it.
When I was writing them down and everyone was getting excited, it didn't actually clue in at first that we were nailing some of these numbers.
And to see 22, 12, 19, I was like, nah, it's not going to happen, it's not. And to see it was really, it's not something that I believe in, or I would never, ever expect me to be so excited about it. Wow.
4 right in a row. 4 right in a row. Possibly a coincidence, maybe, but I was very excited. Perhaps the key to predicting the lottery lies in the hands of groups of you working together, although, annoyingly, maybe it'll only work when you're not distracted by the possibility of profit. We had no more time to practice. The next time we would meet would be Wednesday, just gone, the day of the live lottery prediction. After the break, all will be revealed. Thank you. So, Wednesday night, these 6 random numbers came up live in the lottery, yet I knew what they would be beforehand, but not on my own. I had 24 very excited people hoping to predict them for me. This is what happened. It was the big night. This is what was going on around the corner in a secret location. The group assembled and studied the chart for the final time. Are you excited? Yeah. So, you've had a few minutes already to look at the... Again, I had them relax and use automatic writing to come up with the 6 numbers. Close your eyes now. Would the group's collective subconscious, the wisdom of the crowd, yield the results we were after? We didn't want them to know the numbers until the draw, so I performed the calculations by averaging out their guesses. And, I took the 6 correspondingly numbered balls from a box containing all of the numbers and sealed them in an opaque tube. The prediction was set. That's our first one. That is the lottery prediction. Okay, gotta go, gotta run, see you, bye. And it's Wednesday, the 9th of September, 09. Tonight, I'm going to try and predict at least 5 of the 6 lottery numbers. So, we're broadcasting from a studio, and for security reasons... These here, this is my prediction. My house, I'm feeling a little bit sick. We can turn the TV on, we can turn the TV on. 2, 11, 23, 28, 35, and 39. And ladies and gentlemen, my prediction are 2, 11, 23, 28, 35, 39, in numerical order. Those are the numbers. That's the year of my life. Thank you. Goodbye.
I can't believe that we've just pulled 6 numbers out in front of the nation. It's amazing.
I'm just completely shocked that I'm just
We saw him do all the balls in a row and it's live.
All of us believing that we can do it is what made it happen.
We've done what needed to be done. We pulled 6 numbers out.
I think we're a brilliant team, and it's been a pleasure to work with all of you.
That concludes the tale of how we reached Wednesday night. All of my 24 people who were there know what happened and the success they had. But it's quite possible that many of you simply won't believe it. You may choose not to believe any of what I've told you. Maybe you still believe it was some sort of super technology. Whatever you choose to believe is up to you. But there's still one route we haven't looked at. Remember the 3 options? 1, to fake the ticket. 2, to predict the numbers. And there's still option 3, fix the lottery machine. So here's the option 3 explanation, and you can decide which you prefer. To fix the lottery, I would have to have done the following, which, of course, if I had done, I could never admit to. So I certainly did not do any of these, which would clearly be illegal. But if I did, which I didn't, of course, I would have to have done the following. Firstly, get somebody working on the lottery show to act as an inside informant. We definitely did not do that. Secondly, because the balls are regularly checked, we'd have needed to have found a window of opportunity when the balls were not going to be checked so that we could do the stunt. Didn't do that either. Next, we'd have got some special balls made which were identical to lottery balls but would weigh 100 grams. That's exactly 20 grams heavier than the real balls. We definitely did not get these made, and certainly didn't get the necessary 8 sets made. Next, we'd have found out from our informant where the balls were secretly stored in sealed containers. And to have got access to the containers, I'd have had to have hypnotised the security guards. My God, I certainly didn't do that. Then, I'd have added the weighted balls to each of the 8 possible sets from which Wednesday's balls were going to be picked, and then sealed them back up. And on the night, the weighted balls that we didn't put in were certainly not picked up and spat out by the machine before any of the others. Then the day after the lottery, we'd have got our insider to go back and switch the weighted balls out and replace the ordinary ones, which he did not do. And that's how the lottery was predicted. Or not. It's ridiculous. If I had fixed the lottery, which I did not, then I would have known ages ago what numbers would have come up, and the guesses of the 24 people would have been meaningless. They could have picked any numbers they liked, and I would have just switched their set of balls for the numbers that I knew were going to come up, i.e. the numbers on the heavier balls that I put into the machine. But I would never admit to it, so if I'm ever asked how I predicted the lottery, I'm going to say it was just a trick. Good night.